Monster Jam returns to the Lone Star State with Stadium Championship Series West from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Son of a Digger leads the series as Ryan Anderson returns to the city, which he's won more than any driver in Monster Jam history. While Camden Murphy looks to break out of his slump and lead Bakugan Dragonoid back to victory. And a familiar face straps into the black and green wrecking machine as Charlie Pauken is back in Gravedigger for the first time in 4 years. This is round 18. This is Monster Jam.
We go! Oh, he's throwing caution to the wind. He's got 2 in a row, back-to-back flip. Oh, can he get the save? Oh, yeah. He lands it right into a moonwalk. Huge air, and he's gonna make the save.
Welcome to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for round 18 of the 2024 Monster Jam season. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monster Jam. I'm Scott Jordan alongside the 7 Deuce Adam Enticknap. Through 15 rounds, Ryan Anderson has exerted dominance on this series in the form of 18 competition wins and 7 overalls. However, 2 rounds in Detroit, not so kind to Son of a Digger. What does Ryan need to do to bounce back in Arlington?
I really think that Ryan just needs to take this one race at a time and also not really focus on that big wow moment. He knows what he's doing. He's a fantastic driver. He just needs to go out, maybe lower his standard just a little bit, but enough to get it done.
Chris Kohler is back in business with a freestyle win at Ford Field. Last year, we saw Chris win multiple competitions at this point in the season. And after winning Rookie of the Year, I know he put some pressure on himself to top that. Adam, can he put that pressure to rest now and continue to win?
Well, that's very difficult as a rookie and having that big year like Chris Kohler did. You know, when you look back and all that stuff that he did in the past season, it's hard to just get rid of it in one round. Yeah, he did light it up in Detroit, but you're coming here, you want to do that again, and you want to repeat. It's going to be difficult, but he can do it.
Well, let's hear from the 2023 Monster Jam Co-Rookie of the Year and join our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Yeah, guys, Chris coming off a great weekend in Detroit. So how does that kind of amp you up coming into a place like Arlington where you've had good luck in the past?
Yeah, this place is, full emotions for me because obviously last year I won racing here, which for me is not an easy stunt because I am fast at times, but it's so hard for me to kind of put it all together. So the fact that this dirt complements exactly how my driving style is, it's the fastest I could be. So I have the best chances here, plus the high energy of last week winning in Detroit in front of my friends and family. I couldn't be more excited. I'm back in the dog, got the dog in me. We're back here in Arlington. We're gonna hopefully carry the same energy, racing, skills, freestyle, and bring home an overall.
Thank you, Leslie. Here's tonight's driver lineup for Stadium Championship Series West. We do have a driver change as Charlie Pauken takes over Gravedigger for Adam Anderson. We saw Charlie drive Lucas Stabilizer on the East Series. Adam, what are your expectations for him tonight?
He definitely had a little bit of a tough time in Lucas Stabilizer, but there is definitely something special about Charlie Pauken being back in the black and green wrecking machine. I'm excited to see how he does tonight.
Led the International Series 1 year ago with 7 freestyle wins and is a former World Finals freestyle champion. Here are the current season point standings through 15 rounds. Son of a Digger at the top, Gravedigger in second, Bakugan Dragonoid third, Zombie in fourth, and Megalodon in fifth. There's been a battle going on between Corey Rummel and Colt Stevens and Bari Musawa for that 4, 5, and 6 position. Could be something to watch here through 3 competitions this evening. Drivers will compete tonight in 3 competitions. JCB Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and Freestyle. Points are awarded based on finish, with 12 going to the winner, and the driver with the most points at the end of the event will be crowned overall event champion. And it's time for Track Talk. Drivers love it here at AT&T Stadium because of the tacky Texas dirt and the wide open floor. What do drivers need to focus on tonight to conquer this track?
Well, one of the big things these drivers have to focus on is that wide open floor like you talked about. They're gonna have to carry a lot of momentum and be very aggressive on the throttle. This is one of those things where if you have a little bit too much space and you're not getting to the other side of the floor quick enough, it might make fans not give you the score that you want. But man, this dirt here in Dallas Stadium is absolutely perfect.
First competition of the night, JCB Racing. Let's take a look at the bracket. In round one, Velociraptor versus Zombie, Avenger versus Monster Mutt, Soldier Fortune up against Vendetta, and Megalodon versus Bakugan Dragonoid. First round buys go to Thunder Roarers, El Toro Loco, Son of a Digger, and Grave Digger. Adam, some good potential races here. What catches your eye?
Man, I love that second round race between Ryan Anderson and Camden Murphy. Ryan does lead this series and racing wins with 9, but Camden Murphy is 12-1 in his career in AT&T Stadium, so it should be a good one.
Up first in round one, David Olford in Velociraptor going against Bari Musauer in Zombie. Bari 8-4 in his career at AT&T Stadium. We have a green light, and racing has begun here at AT&T Stadium. Bari goes high up on the berm, keeps the speed, and now has to put it onto the turn. David Olford up on 2 wheels.
David Olford just turning a little too tight. Maybe that Dallas, Texas tacky dirt grabbing him a bit. Bari Musauer getting an easy win.
And we'll see if that gray lane turn continues to give drivers fits. Bari Musauer advancing in Zombie into the second round, 21.835. Here's the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Okay, he just grabs the pod a little bit, tries to get back on the throttle a little too early, and unfortunately will come up short.
Next up in round one, Chris Kohler, a Monster Mutt, up against his dad, Jim Kohler, in Avenger. So a team screen battle, father versus son. And we'll see who gets the advantage here off the starting line. Even going up onto that berm gray side lane. Jim Kohler trying to get it done in the red lane.
Chris Kohler goes very wide in that first turn around the pod. Jim looks like he has a little lead coming into the last turn.
What about this final corner? Look at the drift turn from Chris. Not enough, though. Jim, too big of a lead. Big air across the finish line. Avenger advancing 21.721.
You can see Chris drives it in very deep. Can't get those front BKTs to hook up quite like he wanted. Comes out of the exit, and father gets the win.
Up next in round one, Mike Christensen, Vendetta. He goes up against Caleb Blood in Soldier Fortune. And with some info on Caleb, we hear from Leslie.
Guys, Kayla's gonna have to drive her truck a little differently this weekend because it's got a spool in it. And she told me that when she lets off the throttle, it starts to really pull around those corners. So she's gonna have to do some two-footed driving so she can stay tight and right around that corner and go for it on the jump.
Thanks, Leslie. Mike Christensen taking advantage of that great final turn there from Mike. And Vendetta up high over the finish line. Vendetta advances 21.214.
You can tell Caleb Blood not quite used to what that spool is doing to the truck. Pushes wide, drives it in a little bit deep there, and Mike Christensen gets the win.
Final round one race, Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid up against Corey Rummel and Megalodon. You talked about Camden's success here at AT&T Stadium. We'll see if that stands pat here in round one. He does have the lead going up on the berm corner. It is Corey Rummel in the red lane, Camden Murphy in the gray lane. Look how wide Corey goes on the turn. Camden has the lead.
Seems like that gray lane is definitely breaking in nicely. Oh, Corey Rummel way too far inside, grabs the pod.
And Camden Murphy just stops on a dime around that corner, 20.585, lightning fast.
Corey Rummel pushes a little bit deep in this corner, and what he's gonna try to do is make it up down this straightaway. He turns tight, destroys the pod on the inside, and comes up a little bit short.
Here's the bracket now for round two. Thunder Roarers versus Zombie, El Toro Loco, Avenger, Son of a Digger versus Vendetta, and Grave Digger versus Bakugan Dragonoid. Fastest time in round one, Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid with a 20.585. Things are just heating up at AT&T Stadium, where JCB Racing is next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. Welcome back to Arlington for round two of JCB Racing. It was a great round one bracket. And up first in round two, it's going to be Bari Musauer in Zombie up against Colt Stevens in Thunder Roarers. Colt has lane choice here, and with more on that, let's check in with Leslie.
Colt told me that he feels lane choice is critical right here. He said after practice, he walked off the distance between that final jump and the barriers out there. He said the red lane has a far greater advantage because there's 10 extra feet between that jump and the barrier, so it's going to give him more room to turn.
Well, he's definitely taking advantage of that turn. It's not working out at all. He's going really wide on the turns, and Bari Musauer gets the win, 20.660. Here's the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Colt Steven just pushes wide here, gives Bari the advantage. Unfortunately, that red lane not quite working out like he wanted it to.
Next up, it's all Team Scream. Joe Foley piloting El Toro Loco. Jim Kohler driving Avenger, Mr. Excitement, against Joey Freestyle. And here we go. Jim Kohler up on 2 wheels in the red lane. Joe Foley has the lead.
Jim Kohler just grabbing the ruts in that first berm. He's definitely down a little bit, has to make up some time.
Look how fast Avenger's moving to the straightaway.
Grabs the pod, pushes wide.
Jim came to almost a complete stop on the turn and gets the win. Come from behind victory, 23.149.
Okay, now watch the inside right here. He hits the brakes. He knows he turns a little bit too tight, tries to swing the truck around, but it pushes it just a little too wide. Jim Kohler moving on.
Next up in round 2, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger against Mike Christensen in Vendetta. I talked about Ryan's history at AT&T Stadium, 25-10 in his career on the racetrack with 2 racing wins.
Chooses to go with the gray lane. They look really even right now. Mike just a little bit wide. Ryan Anderson with the advantage in the last turn.
Took it on the corner, try to get another one again. Goes wide as Mike Christensen. Ryan Anderson, nice air over the finish line, taking the win. 20.765, check out the replay.
Mike Christensen coming into this last corner. Looks like there's a little bit of smoke coming out of that truck. That's not good, Scott.
No, we've seen him push these motors and blow the motors in the racing competition. We'll see what Vendetta does through the rest of the event. Final round 2 race, Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger against Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. These two did battle in 2020 on Stadium Championship Series Yellow. Great to see them up against each other in the racing bracket again. And here we go, pretty even as Camden Murphy hits the corner first. And a nice tight turn there for Murphy. He does have the lead going to the straightaway.
Nice job from Camden Murphy. Everybody's been pushing wide in that turn. Cam kept it tight. Oh, this one's coming down to the finish.
Camden Murphy gets a big launch across the race ramp, takes the win, 21.524.
Camden Murphy gets that truck nice and straight, puts down the power. Look at Bakugan Dragonoid roosting up that dirt and comes away with the win.
We can take a look at the semifinal bracket for JCB Racing. Zombie taking on Avenger, and Son of a Digger versus Bakugan Dragonoid. Fastest time in round 2, Zombie with a 20.660. We are down to the final 4 in the racing bracket. Who will end up in the winner's circle? Find out next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Great Clips, the official hair salon of Monster Jam. Download the Great Clips app and check in online today. We are back at AT&T Stadium for the JCB Racing semifinals. Up first, it's going to be Barry Mossauer and Zombie going up against Jim Kohler driving Avenger. Barry had the fastest time in round 2. And with more on his thoughts on lane choice and the track, let's go to Leslie.
Barry loves the slick and sandy track. He says it's perfect for sliding around those corners, and he is able to maneuver it perfect.
Thank you, Leslie. Absolute perfection there. But look at Avenger laying in waste on the other side of the track. Barry Mossauer with an easy win here. Still going to try to cross the finish line to get a tie, but Avenger, my oh my, has seen better days here in the racing bracket, and Barry gets a 21.740.
So Jim's been having problems 2 times in a row with this same exact turn. He went tight in the first one. Now he goes a little bit wide. That rear BKT gets over the top, and unfortunate events for Avenger.
One spot remaining in the finals. It's Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger against Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. Ryan has improved now to 38-6 with 9 wins on the year, even down the starting line. And now into that first corner, Ryan in the gray lane, Camden in the red lane. The race could be won right here. Ryan Anderson, slight advantage.
Nice turn from Camden Murphy. He can make it up in this last corner like he did last time, but Ryan Anderson nails it.
So tight on the turn for Son of a Digger over and over again, 20.316. Here's a super glue replay.
Ryan Anderson pivots around that pod, absolutely perfect, gets it done. Camden Murphy has a little bit more speed over the double, but comes up short.
JCB Racing final bracket is set. It's going to be Ryan Anderson with lane choice and Son of a Digger over Barry Mossauer and Zombie. Ryan with a 20.316 in the semifinal round. So 12 points on the line here. Ryan Anderson lined up and ready. Barry Mossauer pulling to the starting line. Zombie versus Son of a Digger. And here we go, racing finals with 12 points up for grabs.
Ryan Anderson out a little bit faster. Barry Mossauer a little unstable in that berm, but looks like he's trying to make up some time.
And Ryan went really wide on that corner, still kept the lead. We'll see if he makes up for it here. Another tight turn in the gray lane. He's got the gray lane dialed in, and Son of a Digger gets another racing win. What a run for Ryan through the bracket.
Ryan Anderson back-to-back in that gray lane, absolutely flawless. Comes away with another racing competition win.
This is Ryan's 10th racing win of the season, which leads all stadium competitors. And now let's go to the track to join Ryan Anderson and Leslie Mears.
Ryan, you were actually beat going into that first turn. How were you able to make that up so quickly?
So honestly, that gray lane was faster in both turns, but the worst turn I made all night was that first turn. So Barry had me, and I knew he had me, so I drove extra hard, extra deep into the last turn, but I knew I had to cut it super tight. I'm throwing this thing into turns like it's almost a mud show. I'm risking it, because if this thing bites, I'm over. I'm sliding in there so hard. But I knew when I watched Barry come out of that first turn ahead of me, if I didn't risk everything, I wasn't gonna be able to catch him. And thankfully, he went a little wide. I cut it tight, and I got that win.
Risk always worth the reward.
Here are the first BKT overall point standings of the night. Ryan Anderson getting 12, Zombie with 11, Bakugan Dragonoid with 10, Avenger with 9, Thunderosaurus with 8, rounding out the current top 5. But familiar spot there for Son of a Digger on top of the BKT overall point standings. Next up at Arlington was a Great Clip Skills Challenge. Drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels, or they could choose to do a donut. Each driver was scored by fans in attendance on creativity, skill, and execution. And with 12 points once again on the line, let's take a look back at our top competitors. Coming in 5th place, Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid gets a great popper.
Looks like something weird happened there. The truck must have shut off. He couldn't get it in forward.
Corey Rummel, Megalodon up on the container with a nose wheelie.
Walking that 12,000-pound truck out on those BKT tires. Nice balance from Corey Rummel. Love to see these 2-wheel skills from him. Definitely improving.
And taking 3rd, Barnabas Hour driving. Zombie hits the Thriller donut.
Gotta love it. Perfect donuts out of Zombie. Hasn't been seen tonight. Great job.
2nd place, Charlie Pauken on the board. Big-time bicycle across the pod.
Nice bicycle. Rides it all the way across and then keeps it going with a little combination move.
And once again, getting the win, Ryan Anderson, vintage bicycle here.
Tries to get a combo, can't get it there, but a nice popper off the side of that freestyle ramp. Oh, and then makes a little bit of a mistake and gets it back on all 4.
Ryan has 12 more with the win as we check out the BKT overall point standings after 2 perfect nights so far. 24 points, Zombie with 21, Bakugan Dragonoid with 18, Gravedigger with 17, and Avenger with 15 rounds out our current top 5. Ryan picks up skills win number 8. Now let's hear from our winner, Son of a Diggers, Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, just when I thought you couldn't get any crazier, you pull off that amazing save. Take us through it.
Man, I knew everybody was going to be going for kind of the same thing. A lot of bicycles, a lot of people going off that backflip ramp. So I was like, I got to do something different. That's an old trick that we did a while back. I did a few times, and I haven't done it in a long time. But I was like, Bryce, that ledge right there looks like it might give me something. I'm not going to lie, it didn't give me everything I needed. So I had to dig it out. And then in doing so, I backed up on the hill, got up on one wheel, and had to give it everything I had to try to save it. I'm not going to lie, I didn't really save it. It crashed, but luckily I was crashing fast enough. It made it back to its wheels. People went nuts. I mean, the bicycle was good, but that ending move, that's what got everybody on their feet and got me that win.
And you're setting yourself perfectly here for the perfect event, if I must say so.
I've actually been in this scenario quite a bit this season, and I'm not gonna lie, old Joe Foley has taken it from me twice, so we've had some gnarly weekends. It's been awesome, but I'm feeling good right now. This track is a little different than normal. We don't have that normal step up in the center, and I think a lot of people are thinking it's gonna change a lot about freestyle, but I don't think it really is. I'm not telling them that. I'm just gonna go out here and go crazy, man. I feel good, I'm confident. Texas is always rowdy for me and all the team diggers, so I'm gonna go out here and make them proud. Go wild. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's gonna be one heck of a ride while I'm doing it.
Ryan Anderson has another perfect event on deck, but will he get the sweep? Find out next on Monster Jam. Everyone in Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude Monster Jam This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. We are back at the home of the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium for round 18. It's been all Son of a Digger so far as Ryan Anderson picked up his 10th racing win of the season, 8th skills win of the season. Adam, perfection in the air. We've seen it before. Ryan talked about it before. Can he sweep the night and grab a perfect event?
Absolutely, he can. If there's anybody that can do it, it's him. Ryan Anderson, no other driver has won more freestyles in AT&T Stadium other than Ryan Anderson. That is absolutely amazing. If there's a guy that can do it, It's Son of a Digger.
And we'll see if old Joe Foley takes another one away from him. Well, unless Son of a Digger can't compete in freestyle, the event championship is realistically down to 4. Ryan Anderson, Barry Musauer, Camden Murphy, and Charlie Pauken. Should Ryan underwhelm in freestyle, who you got winning the championship?
You know, that's difficult because I feel like Charlie Pauken could be there, Camden Murphy could be there, but Mr. Consistency, Barry Musauer, he's not far behind. Definitely one of those guys that can get it done.
Let's take a look at the current BKT overall point standings after 2 competitions. Ryan Anderson with 24, Zombie 3 points off the lead, Bakugan Dragonoid trailing by 6, Gravedigger 7 off the lead, and Avenger 9 points off the lead, railing out the top 5. Megalodon suffered a broken planetary in skills, and let's get an update with Leslie Mears.
Corey Rummel here with a broken planetary. You can see that giant crack in it makes a huge difference. It also makes it really hard to get things apart and then back together. So he's going to have a little bit of work to make it back for freestyle.
Here's tonight's freestyle competition order in Detroit. It was Adam Anderson and Chris Kohler getting the win, so Monster Muck goes 8th. Charlie Pauken gets Gravedigger in 6th. Adam 8 drivers on this series have a freestyle win. Do we see number 9 tonight?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. Camden Murphy, Barry Musauer, Joe Foley, the underdog, Ryan Anderson. I mean, these names are jam-packed. It is so hard to beat these guys. I really don't think we see number 9, but it'd be cool if we did.
And Vendetta did blow a motor in racing, so Mike Christensen will miss his 7th freestyle competition of the year. Go big or go home there.
There you go.
Speaking of going big and going home, nobody has done it better over the last quarter century than this man. Up first is 2-time World Finals champion Jim Kohler in Avenger. And here's your freestyle criteria. You got to get the first 30 seconds to qualify for a score. If they don't hit a minute on the clock, 1 point gets deducted. Fans scoring in attendance based on creativity, technical moves, combinations, and that wow moment. Jim Kohler rocking the Avenger fire body here. Little classic throwback with the black bead locks on it. I love the sleek look of this truck.
Yeah, it's definitely a good look with the orange flames. It's absolutely amazing. But Jim Kohler starting off a little bit slow here. Not really seeing anything special. This big floor definitely different. You can tell he's having a hard time getting across it, finding what he wants to do in freestyle. A nice little double jump there for Jim, but needs to pick it up a little bit if he wants to get a big score.
This is his 11th start at AT&T Stadium. He won freestyle here back in 2013. Now trying to thread the needle a little bit, shoots the gap, gets up in the air, runs out of room here, has to jam all the brakes, make a nice hard turn. Here comes Avenger back over the car stack on the gray side of this track.
Just feels like to me, in a way, he's almost trying to save his truck a little bit for something hopefully big at the end. Not carrying a lot of momentum. Like I said before, it could be just because that big open floor, he's not used to that.
Well, we saw him demolish the pod in racing, so maybe there is something with the truck. He doesn't want to do it again.
Yeah.
But it looks like he might be going for something big here. Jim Kohler lining it up. And Avenger in the far corner of this track is the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp right in front of the 2-time World Finals freestyle champion. Here goes Avenger, up goes Avenger, and he's got the landing too far, but he can bounce the save, just breaks the axle right there.
Oh,
and
man.
Avenger shredded. I thought he broke the axle. Look at that thing just tore inside, but he is still going.
That's Mr. Excitement. He was saving it for something big, but a little bit of smoke coming out, and I think that's going to come to an end.
Man, I don't know how that wheel is still on that truck. Take a look at the original Super Glue. Glue to the action replay.
Took a while to line it up. Under rotates the backflip, gets a big bounce off that BKT, hits the throttle a little bit, and does another backflip. Jim Kohler living up to the name, Mr. Excitement.
Up next, Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. We've discussed the good run of bad luck he's been having, but right now, let's get an update on Camden from Leslie.
It's been a tough run of luck for Camden Murphy. And when I asked him about it, I said, how do you put that behind you? He said, it's easy. I just go from event to event. But it's hard when you have something happen like it did here tonight in the skills competition where the truck just shut off. You know, I asked his crew chief, Craig, and they have a great relationship, by the way. Hey, did you figure out what was wrong with the truck? He said we had some loose terminals, but hey, I think it's really Murphy's Law, and it's just a run of bad luck with Camden because they've really been going through it.
What do you think about that Murphy's Law situation there?
I love that, but I think, yep, I knew it. The wings were on the track. They're going to have to stop them for a second and then restart them. That's going to be costly for the fans and his momentum, but hopefully he can get it back going.
And it seems like that follows Camden Murphy throughout his career. When everything starts to go wrong, it stays going wrong. and he has to find a bouncing back point. He has yet to find that this season. Some big-time air clips the car stack on the back end. But he does have a freestyle win in this building back in 2019, has had a lot of success here. His freestyle average on the season, 7.938, not spectacular for a driver of the caliber of Camden Murphy.
Yeah, Camden Murphy, a fantastic driver, dabbles in NASCAR and does a few other things. Definitely excellent behind the wheel. But Camden Murphy starting to put on a show here, definitely letting loose, throwing caution to the wind. A little bit more risky than we've seen him in the past.
Throws the overall event lead by 6 coming into this run, so he needs a big run to stay in the hunt. Morgan to Morgan backflip attempt here for Camden Murphy. Bakugan Dragonoid soars up, lands on one wheel, right up on the wheelie bar, and he's got this thing balanced perfectly down on all 4 BKTs.
That was close. Oh, and he hits a 1-2, a big air over the top, hits the jammer. Oh my
and he's
goodness.
Gonna save it. A huge save on the back end of that. 2 big saves in about 10 seconds, and a 3rd big save. And if he can do a 4th one, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be
here
impressed. Sidewinder, 4 saves. Can we make it 5?
Gosh, it just keeps
5
going, Scott.
saves in a row for it's Oprah. You get a
Oh
save.
my God,
you
it's still going.
The transmission is on fire right now, just done. And
Oh
he's
my
still
goodness!
going.
Another
That is
one!
6 saves for Camden Murphy. 6 saves in a run for Camden Murphy. Finally, the transmission is gone.
Scott, are you
That is
kidding
a
me?
candidate for Stadium Freestyle of the Year. Check out the replay.
Oh my gosh, Stadium Freestyle of the decade. Huge backflip, teeter-totters, puts it in forward and gets it down. Oh my gosh, here's the first save, gets it on the nose, drives it out, rolls the truck over here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm amped up. Camden Murphy. This is such a fantastic run. So many saves on the sidewalls again. Camden Murphy putting on a show.
9.817 is the score that takes the lead. Camden Murphy with maybe the freestyle run of the year, but will it lead to the event championship? Find out when freestyle continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome back to Round 18 at AT&T Stadium. Today's festivities kicked off with the most family-friendly pit party in motorsports. Fans arrived to meet their favorite drivers and take pictures with the trucks. And if you want to attend the pit party at your next Monster Jam event, get your tickets at monsterjam.com. During the break, Colt Stevens hits the Morgan to Morgan backflip in Thunderoris, but that would end his night with a 7.196. Our next competitor out of Shaw, Oregon, riding for Team Throttle Monster. This is David Olford in Velociraptor. So Colt Stevens had the dubious distinction of following that run from Camden Murphy. So that's out of the way. What does David Olford do here to get fans' minds off of that run and focused on Velociraptor?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, right now you're just looking at 2nd place. I mean, there was so many good saves in Camden's run. There's so many things going on. Really, David Olford, he truly is looking for a 2nd place run, just a solid finish here. If he can get a wow moment at the end and maybe a big save, that could be great for him, but it is going to be very hard to top Camden Murphy here too.
Yeah, 9.817, one of the highest scores of the season, period, in Monster Jam. Not a lot of wiggle room to top that, but we'll see what happens here. David Olford now trying to put something together. Goes right off cross-threading on that backside of the berm track. Now with a popper into maybe a moonwalk nose wheelie combo attempt there. Able to edge the tires off, get some more room to run, and takes it down the straightaway.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that is in David Olford's favor in Velociraptor is that he did have Thunderoris go before him. Thunderoris kind of gave him a little bit of time for the crowd to settle back in. Oh, a nice bicycle. Great 2-wheel skills. Ooh, with almost grabbing the little bit of combination. Pulls it out with a nice save.
Went for the stop. He's able to get it on the sidewalls, make it into a cyclone. And now we got Velociraptor going back to this side of the track on the red lane. Wide quarters here at AT&T Stadium, deep track, a lot of tacky dirt, a lot of room to run and just absolutely send these 12,000-pound trucks. And we talk about drivers saying letter E. I don't think there's a better track in Monster Jam than the one here for that to happen.
Yeah, and one of the great things about this track too is like we talked about that dirt. It's tacky, but it also hardens up a little bit. David throwing a nice donut in there, but with the room on the floor, with the texture of the dirt, it just makes for a fantastic Monster Jam venue. You get that extra little bit of excitement and you get freestyles like what you got from Camden Murphy.
Time winding down here for Velociraptor. There's the center pod. Big aerial view there. Comes down into a nose wheelie save. Nice catch there by David Olford. And Velociraptor is done. Here's the original super glue. Glue to the action replay.
David Olford getting on that bicycle, but has to be happy with this run. Tries to get the combination move. Puts it on 2 BKTs. Hooks up. Gets back on all 4. Fantastic job. Maybe one of the best freestyles we've seen from David this season.
Out of Lafayette, Louisiana, this is Kayla Blood piloting Soldier Fortune. And she does have a freestyle win under her belt this season back in Anaheim, California. And we'll see if she can top Bakugan Dragonoid's run here. It comes right off, trying to go diagonal. We talk about going outside to in. She's starting from the inside and kind of working her way through a figure 8 pattern on this track. That's a different strategy we have not seen tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something fresh for the fans, so that's always good. But something I definitely want to touch on is that spool that she has in her truck. That's a little bit different than what she had before. What she's talking about is that thing will actually drive into the corners and kind of keep pushing her forward. So if you see her push a little bit wide in some of these turns, or keep going a little farther, maybe misjudge something, that's what she's trying to adjust to, and that's very difficult when you're changing from one to the other.
Kayla Blood now chopping away up on 3 wheels, trying to get the truck turned back around for some big air. Ends up hard, side slapping it down. Is able to continue her momentum as she just runs over everything. There is that score to beat a daunting score from Camden Murphy and Bakugan Dragonoid. And Kayla Blood throwing some donuts, and we've seen that a few times so far tonight. We'll see where this momentum takes her. Comes over hard again, just trying to throw the truck into chaos mode right now.
A little bit cattywampus, something's going on. I'm not sure if there's something broken on the truck here. She's trying to get turned around. Ooh, maybe backflip?
Yeah, just slow rolling her way to the backflip ramp. Morgan backflip for Soldier. Fortune pushes off.
Ooh,
and then
tie
pushes
rod.
off again. And the tie rods, both of them just snapped.
Those BKTs are waving to the crowd right now. I love it. That side of that Morgan backflip ramp sure did push her off weird. You can see her coming in right here. It really pushes her out back, under rotates. You can see the tie rod on the front just snap off. Those 2 BKT tires just hanging there.
She was still able to land the truck though, so kept it going.
Yep, she did.
8.172. We're halfway through the field of freestyle, and event crowns are up for grabs. Come right back next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master, Epic Trucks, Epic Stunts, Monster Jam. Welcome back to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Moments ago, freestyle continued with Gravedigger, but Charlie Pauken comes right off of the ramp with some big air and just runs out of bounds, gets shut off, leaving 89 seconds on the clock, and gets a score of 5.366 in Charlie's return to Gravedigger. And up next, out of Orlando, Florida, former Monster Jam Rookie of the Year, Barry Musauer in Zombie. He is just 3 points off the event lead. And for more on this, let's go to Leslie.
Guys, Bari told me the ticket to the overall tonight is going to be flow. And in order to get that, you've got to have good momentum. But he thinks that this track is going to make you work hard to get that. And we saw that in that run by Camden Murphy. So he's going to have to step it up a notch.
All right, thank you, Leslie. So recognizing what he needs to do, you can't just get by on consistency to beat a 9.817. He doesn't have to win freestyle to win the event championship. He needs to finish 3rd or better here to go to the #1 spot here when it comes to that.
Yeah, but it's going to be so difficult with that run that Camden Murphy just had. He's going to need something near perfect, spectacular for Bari or Ryan Anderson to come out on top in this competition.
Yes, 2 freestyle wins in 2024. Did win freestyle here last year on this track. So the dirt, he knows the dirt, he knows the building, he knows what it takes to win. Question is, can that translate here to on the track right now?
Well, that's what we're seeing now, is if he can do it. It looks like he's doing a good job so far. A little bit slow, but it's always good to build in your Monster Jam freestyle run. Start out a little bit slow and then, you know, kind of build up and have that climax right at the end of the run so the fans give you that big score.
Went right from the jammer to the pod. Big transfer jump there for Zombie. Comes back on the far side of the berm. Goes right off to the side into the race lane. And now making another turn here. Morgan backflip for Zombie. And here comes Barry Musauer. Short backflip, but he lands it. A short, fast backflip does the trick. And Zombie still going.
He definitely watched Caleb Blood, or his crew chief watched Caleb Blood. Oh, nice skills move there. Getting it up on 2 wheels, getting that nose wheelie, then moonwalk. But on that backflip, he was definitely watching and checking out some film there, making sure he got the good rotation on that side of the backflip container.
Backs up, pushes it across the pod into a bicycle, and then comes all the way across the track again. Seconds winding down, Bari right facing that tunnel. That will do it. Celebration for Zombie Nation. Great run. Take a look at the replay.
Here he comes into that backflip. It definitely spit him off a little bit weird, but then he gets a nice 2-wheel skills combination move with the nose wheelie to moonwalk.
8.376 the score for Zombie. And next up in freestyle out of Columbus, Michigan, this is Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt. And we heard from Chris at the top of the show, starting to gain some confidence. He was very confident last year in his rookie season. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he wasn't a traditional Monster Jam rookie. He'd been around for years, filling in with Team Scream, wrenching on the trucks, driving here and there, making spot appearances. He had the confidence. He was leaps and bounds better than most drivers entering their rookie season. And I think he's just suffered a little bit in a sophomore slump, trying to duplicate what he did last year.
Yeah, and that's just all because he had nothing to lose last year. You know, he's a rookie. He comes in, like you said, he was able to be more comfortable than the other drivers because he was actually around it for a long time. And Chris just came in last year and kind of said, you know, there's nothing for me to hold myself to a standard. I'm just going to go out and do my best. And I think this year he had that standard. He had that level that he wanted to achieve, and he hasn't been achieving it. And that happens when you push it a little bit too hard. But at the last few rounds, he's been doing good. He got a win in Detroit at his home, and now he's confident at this place. I got a little bit of chance to talk to him. He loves this stadium. He loves that dirt, and confidence is key.
As he mentioned, does have a racing win on this track. Best freestyle finish here was 4th. Making his 6th Arlington start, going for the Morgan backflip. Here goes Monster Mutt. Hits the ramp, perfect centering of the truck. Comes off hard into a wheelie, able to land it and center the truck. But what damage was done as Monster Mutt sits on the track.
Oh, he gets it back started. We need a wow moment, just 1-2, a big air.
He lost a little momentum there, having to stop the truck, but he is able to come over, gets a nice floater. I don't know how the hood of that truck is still hanging on. The front clip just hanging on, the rest of the truck gone. It's the front.
There we go.
It's the mouth and the tail of Monster Mutt still hanging on.
You can tell this truck is handling fantastic on this AT&T Stadium floor.
And now Chris going up into the middle, cross ready, gonna roll over here, trying to save it. And in a big time pop in the back end of that truck. Take a look at the replay.
Here he comes into the backflip ramp, great rotation, choosing that red side of the backflip container. Lands on those BKTs and gets it down.
We can check out our current freestyle leaderboard. Bakugan Dragonoid has the lead. Avenger sits in 2nd. Zombie in 3rd, which is right where Bari needs to be to win the event championship. Soldier Fortune in 4th, and Monster Mutt in 5th. We're down to the final 3 trucks in freestyle, and the event championship will be decided when we come back with more Monster Jam. We are back in Arlington with the conclusion of freestyle. This is round 18 with Stadium Championship Series West. And during the break, freestyle action continued. Del Toro Loco, Joey Freestyle won't get his 5th freestyle win. He comes in too hot and ends up on the pod, gets a score of 4.736. That brings us to another member of Team Scream out of North Jackson, Ohio, Corey Rummel, driving Megalodon. Corey, one of the top independent drivers in Monster Jam, has been, pushing that 3rd and 4th spot on the series all season long. He has the 4th highest freestyle average on the series. For an independent driver to sit that high, not only in the point standings, but freestyle average, that shows you what kind of technician Corey is, because he's breaking this thing and fixing it every single night and getting it ready to come back out and throw it down again.
Yeah, and not only is that part of being a good technician, but it's also being a driver that is a technician, and knowing your vehicle and knowing what's going to go wrong, knowing how to land your truck to keep it together, knowing what's going bad before it actually goes bad. He can feel that stuff because in his brain, he can actually see the truck and feel what's going on and know which part that is and which piece that is and what could go bad. When he did that hit on the left side, oh man, that could grab a planetary gear. So that's definitely a testament to not only being a technician, but being a driver that's a technician.
And it's really the opposite of what Camden Murphy has done. We talked about Camden, his average, he still has a freestyle win. Corey's average is way above Camden's. He doesn't have a win yet. So it really just comes about picking your moments and getting those wow moments in there. He does have success here in Arlington in his 8th start, though he's done pretty well in freestyle.
Looks like he might be trying to line up for that backflip.
He's going for the backflip, came in at the wrong angle, gets it right, sends the shark up and gets the shark down. Perfect backflip for Corey Rummel and Megalodon.
It looks like that backflip container on the red side. Oh, a nice big air onto that jammer. Puts it up, makes a good save. The whole front of the truck is gone.
Into a really big top turn to the far corner, now coming back again for more. Megalodon goes up again, ends up on the side, ends up on the other side, and now gonna try to save it. Not enough room there for Corey to make the save. Take a look at the original Super Glue. Go to the action replay.
It looks like that backflip ramp's breaking in just a little bit, maybe pushing off slightly, and then lands on top of that pod. Just can't get it back on all 4 BKTs.
That brings us to our final competitor, 4-time World Finals champion, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. Ryan just needs to finish 5th or better to win the event championship. Otherwise, it will go to Barry Musauer. Ryan Anderson has only finished worse than 5th in freestyle once this season, Adam.
But he might have only finished 5th or worse one time this season, but if I'm Ryan Anderson, I am looking for the perfect event. And if you want the perfect event, you need to have the perfect freestyle here tonight, because Camden Murphy showed out for these fans, and I'm sure right now all Ryan Anderson is thinking about getting that perfect freestyle run and putting it all together.
Well, you may be thinking about getting the truck started again. He got it back. 5 freestyle wins here, 4 overall event wins here, most of any Monster Jam driver in history. And all he's done is win this season, 7 out of 13 overall event championships, trying to get number 8. But Son of a Digger not right now on this freestyle track. And I'm not sure what's going on, but Ryan Anderson coming to a stop again.
Yeah, this is so frustrating. He's turned off twice, and it looks like that'll be the end of his run. Coming off that jump in the middle here, looks like he just gets shut off. Must be some kind of electrical issue happening twice out there for Ryan Anderson.
Well, Monster Jam rules, once the truck shuts off for a second time, it's done. And there you see the frustration because of that from Ryan Anderson. He will not finish in the top 5, therefore he won't win the event championship. As we take a look at our freestyle competition leaderboard, Bakugan Dragonoid 9.817 gets the win. Avenger finishes in 2nd, Zombie in 3rd, Megalodon in 4th, and Soldier Fortune rounds out the top 5. Run of the year, maybe you should run of the decade for Camden Murphy. Definitely a candidate for Stadium Freestyle of the Year. For Camden, it's the 2nd freestyle win of the season. Now let's head downstairs to Leslie and our freestyle winner, the Bakugan Dragonoid driver, Camden Murphy.
Guys, that had to be one of the wildest freestyles of the year. You know, you just kept saving it. First of all, we have to talk about the shutoff. What were you thinking as it took so long to get you fired back up?
You know, honestly, the whole second half of this year has just absolutely gone down the drain for me. I could not get out of my own way in racing. I keep having just terrible luck when it comes to certain things, like my truck just shutting off in the middle of skills right there in that second hit today. And man, I keep having tough things like that. And man, when I got shut off 2 times in a row, I'm like, come on, what's going on? And I was so mad, and I was like, you know what, putting this pedal to the ground, make sure all these Monster Jam fans here in Dallas had a great time, and man, I had a great time. So hopefully this momentum keeps on going for the rest of the season.
You know, it was really funny. Craig joked with me. He said it's just all about Murphy's Law, that it's you, but I think that you've turned it around with this.
You know, Murphy's Law, anything that can happen will happen, and we have absolutely had this year, but you know what, I think this is the turning point, and we are absolutely coming for Ryan Anderson and Adam Anderson here this rest of the season.
Camden gets 12 points with the win as we look at the final BKT overall point standings. Zombie with 31 gets the win by 1 point over Bakugan Dragonoid. Son of a Digger finishes in 3rd, Avenger in 4th, and Megalodon and Gravedigger tie with 20 points. For Barry, this is his 3rd overall event win of the season. Let's go back to the track with Leslie and our winner.
So Barry holds the trophy at the end of the night, and man, it came down to the last run in freestyle. Were you sweating it up there?
I was. I'm still sweating. You know what? Man, we had a consistent night. Zombie was running 100%. Thanks to my crew chief, Julian. Man, we came home with the hardware. We did it. I couldn't believe it. Ryan, he had some bad luck. That opened the door for us. we took full advantage, and that's just the way it goes sometimes.
So Bori now ties Adam Anderson for second on this series with 3 overall event wins. Of course, Ryan Anderson still leads the way with 7. He retains the series points lead, but it was a great night for Bori Musauer, maybe a good jumping off point for Camden Murphy as well.
Well, they say everything's bigger in Texas, and Zombie Nation got that much bigger this weekend. But I think even more important, finally a little bit of momentum for Camden Murphy.
Next round, we head back to the East Series with round 19 from Jacksonville. We hope to see you there. For Adam Entignap and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.